It's from New Jersey. It's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, medium talent John Trumbull.
How
are you doing, Darren?
I'm doing well. So that's something I was going to mention when we talk about this episode. How do they leave that out of
I don't know. One of the most famous Chevy Chase stories out there. And
it's just egregious.
I don't know. Maybe, surely they had somebody they interviewed was witness to that incident.
I'm sure it happened, and don't call me Shirley. Hey, all right. Waka waka. Hey. If I had a slide whistle, I'd blow it right now.
You would. Yeah.
Oh, good times.
As you may have guessed, this week we're talking about the new documentary about Mr. Cornelius Chevy Chase. I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. This debuted on CNN on New Year's Day, 2026. So it's brand spanking new. It's like a week old as we record this.
Hot out the oven. Yeah. Fresh out the box.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we got a little bit of SNL news to. This
is true. Yeah.
Share with you guys. Yeah. Okay. I amuse myself sometimes. Yeah,
you really do. Yeah.
So SNL came out and announced who's going to be hosting for the rest of the month of January. So we already know the next new episode comes out next week on the 17th with guest host Finn Wolfhard, right off of Stranger Things. Musical guest A$AP Rocky, who has a new album out called Don't Be Dumb, which I do like that title.
You're not the boss of me.
And A$AP Rocky, he's also been doing a lot of acting lately. I know he's in the new Spike Lee movie, and he's in this A24 film with Rose Byrne and Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. If what is it? Something I could kick you.
If I had legs, I would kick you.
That's it. I was like, it's not if I had a face, I would kick you. Yeah. If
I had hands, I'd strangle you.
Yes. Okay. I have no mouth and I must scream.
But yeah, that's interesting for Mr. A$AP Rocky. So that's on the 17th. Then on the 24th, we're getting Tiana Taylor as a host, fresh off of her buzzworthy appearance in the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm.
And a musical guest, Geese, who is the new rock band who's kind of apparently a lot of people don't know who they are, or at least people in my age bracket.
I am among them, yes.
Yeah, I get it, because I know I'm a music nerd, so I know who they are, but they are one of these bands who, if you're not like some young hipster or like a music dork, I don't see how you'd know who they are. But they do have a big, strong underground following, and they're breaking into the mainstream. It appears to be, and I do like their music. I do wonder how other people will receive it, because I don't think they're super mainstream. They're more like kind of really loud out there, little avant-garde. I would say maybe a mix of Nirvana and the Pixies or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the main Joe off the street thinks of them. And Tiana Taylor, a talented actor, musician.
Have you seen the One Battle After Another? I haven't seen that yet.
I have. I like it. Yeah. Some people have issues with it, but a lot of strong performances, a lot of great camera work. It's pretty crazy. It's on HBO Max right now.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I added it to my watch list. I just have not watched it as of yet.
Okay, but yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Okay. And January 31st, we got Alexander Skarsgård. I was gonna mention how didn't his brother Peter host an episode of SNL not too long ago? And I looked it up, and that's Peter Sarsgaard.
Yes.
And now no relation at all to Alexander Skarsgård.
Correct. Correct. Although he is the son of Skellen Skarsgård.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård's his dad, and he has a
Hmm.
brother, Bill Skarsgård, who's also an actor. Who I believe he was in the last The Crow movie, and I'm pretty sure he played the clown in Pennywise in It.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You're right. And
Yeah.
like I know Alexander Skarsgård. I know he was on True Blood for years. I didn't watch much of that show. He did a Tarzan movie a number of years back with Margot Robbie and
Oh.
Christoph Waltz. The
Oh.
Legend of Tarzan, and Samuel L. Jackson was in that as well. And I actually rewatched that not too long ago, and I enjoyed that.
Oh. Okay. Oh, they redid the Disney version. They made it all human and
No,
stuff.
no, it's not the Disney version. It's not the musical. It was just sort of a an adventure Tarzan film where it's like
Oh.
he spent the last few years in England being just like Lord Greystoke, and then he's Samuel L. Jackson who's playing he's playing a real life historical figure, and I'm blanking on the person's name. I think his name was something Washington. Um, but he convinces Tarzan, he's like, you got to come back to the Congo with me because there's like this slavery ring happening down there, and
Mm.
there's all sorts of bad shit going down. And Tarzan's like, I don't want to go. I'm not really the jungle lord anymore.
I'm not the one.
Yeah.
I can't go
And
back.
then, just when he thinks he's out, they pull him back in. You know?
One more job. One more
Yeah,
job to pull off. One more caper.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. All
And,
right.
entertaining movie worth seeing, I think.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, like Skarsgård, like does mostly dramatic stuff. He
Hmm.
was in Big Little Lies. He was on Succession. He has that Apple series Murder Bot that he's on. It says according to this, he was in Zoolander, which I don't remember him being in that, but
The first one or the sequel?
the first one.
Huh. Okay.
So,
Maybe one of the models?
oh, that could be it.
Did
Orange
he bring the
mocha
casket?
frappuccino. Yeah, that could be. He could be one of the models. Yeah,
Yeah.
orange mocha frappuccino.
Wake me up.
Before you go. Oh, and
We got
wow.
to do Zoolander someday.
I I wouldn't say no.
Yep.
Let's do it. And Cardi B, her second appearance. Her first was back in 2018 on the Chadwick Boseman episode, and
Mm.
yeah. And so yeah, she has a new album out, and she'll be promoting that. So we got our lineup for January. We're coming in hot. Coming
Yep.
in hot.
Yep.
Hmm. So all right, well, enough of that. And let's get into this. Let's get into this documentary. I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.
Yeah.
Directed by Marina Zanovich, who is no stranger to the documentary game. She
Yeah.
directed,
I was reading up on her a bit. Yeah. She's done a lot of interesting docs. So, yeah.
yeah, she did a Richard Pryor doc, Omit the Logic. She did Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind, and Roman Polanski, Wanted and Desired.
Mm.
Mm. But yeah, so I mean, I think we decided to do this doc because I don't know. It seemed like, especially on my, well, maybe on my timeline because I follow a lot of comedy stuff. I kept seeing articles about it just pop up about, you know,
Yeah. Same here. Like, it was like every day there was a new thing about, like, Chevy Chase doesn't regret this assholish thing he did several decades ago.
yeah,
And yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Well, this documentary is going to cover a lot of ground, apparently. So,
yeah, it is, and like it is. I mean, we've joked about maybe doing a episode about the horribleness of Chevy Chase, history's greatest
mhm.
monster, because it is, it really is kind of fascinating how, like, throughout the years, throughout the decades now,
Yeah,
everybody, there's at least a handful of people that have some story about how Chevy Chase was a total jerk to them. Like,
yeah,
it would be one thing if it was just like maybe if it was one or two instances, but like no, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the aughts,
yeah.
somehow he just keeps on pissing off people. It's kind of incredible.
It's. I mean, he's no medium talent at pissing off people. I would say
Yeah, no,
he
he's
is. I mean, he might have a greater talent at offending people than at making people laugh. So
yeah, no, that's his true talent.
yeah, yeah. It's like you can't do a documentary about Chevy Chase and his career without tackling this question. So it's the documentary is kind of like half and half. It's like half about his life and career, and then half about like, oh, here's all the horrible things he's done, and here's how unrepentant he is about most of them.
Yeah, like when I mean when
It's
they,
really something else.
it is because like I really thought, oh, this doc might be like a fluff piece and might just be like,
Hmm.
oh, he's not such a bad guy. He's just
Yeah.
misunderstood. Come on,
Or
guys.
him, being like, "Oh, I express regret. I shouldn't have acted like that. I would have had a very different life and career." And yeah, no, not so much of that. Yeah,
Yeah, he's just really just like, no, that's cool. If you don't like me, that's all right. And
yeah.
it's
He
I
doesn't really want anyone's forgiveness. He's not really hurting for that.
yeah.
Although at times, like towards the end of the doc, he does sort of express some regrets. But
Yeah, and it's not
well,
like he
it's a
treats.
mixed bag.
Yeah, mixed bag at best. I mean, it's not like he treats everybody terribly. There are actually a lot of people in this doc that really go to bat for him. I mean, Goldie Hawn talks about how
Hmm.
nice he is, and of course, his wife and his daughters. Like, there is a kinder, gentler Chevy Chase, but for some reason, he doesn't show that to everybody. He just like, I guess, like a very select few get to he gets to be the nice guy around, which is, I don't know,
Hmm.
it's kind of fascinating. I don't know why he does that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then you also get into the question of like how much does he intend to be an asshole, or is he just like inadvertently offending all these people?
Yeah, because like
And you
that
go back and forth on it over the course of this doc. It's only like I think about a little over an hour and a half. I think it's
yeah,
like 97 minutes, but it's
yeah, it's weird because because like there are times where he's kind of riffing and going off on people, and like a lot of time you're like, is he just joking or is he being a real dick? Like they showed
yeah,
scenes like I guess the infamous Caddyshack press tour where he like screams at the interviewer and then he just like walks off in a huff.
yeah. I don't
Like,
think I'd seen that bit of it before. That was something else.
yeah, I haven't
I
seen
would
that
have
at
liked
all.
to see more of the context of that.
Yeah, like same thing. I would like to see him like, well, why did he go off on the interview like that?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then there's also like even as the director who's off camera talks to Chevy,
Hmm.
when she's saying to like, I'm just trying to really understand you. I'm trying to figure out. He just goes, no shit, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy for you. Like he's immediately combative and
Yeah, he
puts up
literally
walls.
says to the director, "You're not bright enough to figure me out."
See,
And
I'm
it's
like,
like,
all right, yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, was that a joke, like a bad joke, or was he like that was serious?
I don't know, but yeah, it's like he's instantly being combative and putting the person on edge. And like it also like the doc also starts out with like Chevy Chase just kind of doing like some sort of unfunny shtick. I didn't write down what it was, but I put that in my notes. I just said literally starts out with Chevy Chase doing unfunny shtick.
Yeah, like yeah, and that's the thing. That is one. That's one of my main takeaways from this doc. Is just like he's never like like it's
He
he's always
doesn't get
on.
very real.
No, he doesn't. Like he's always on. He's always doing some sticky shit,
He's
and
deflecting, you know.
so much. And even when the interviewer, the director, is like trying to get him to drop his guard and be more vulnerable, he just doesn't do it. He
Yeah,
just
that's just his default. Like I've, like okay, we're both in comedy, nominally,
yeah,
and you meet a lot of people in comedy, and you meet like a lot of different personality and types in comedy, and a type that I've never really cared for in comedy or in like community theater, which I've also done, is like the people who can never turn it off and just be
yeah,
real. Those people are exhausting to be around because they're always performing to some degree. And you're just
exactly.
like, can you just like not and just like be a person?
Yeah, like what?
And
Yeah, like what are you running away from, man? Just
yeah, and
just
Chevy
stay.
Chase seems like that type of person. And yeah, it's just, and also he's just very volatile because you don't know if you're getting the nice Chevy or the mean Chevy, and it's just like and I've been around people like that too. I had a person that I was like friendly with who would be like the nicest person in the world to you for 3 months, and then he'd treat you like crap for 3 months, and then and finally I reached a point where I was like, I don't think it's too much to ask for my friends to treat me nice consistently. You know.
Consistently? Oh wow, that's a deal breaker.
Well, more often than not, let's say.
Okay, all right, I can work with that. But yeah, I mean, it is a fascinating. I don't know why he acts like that, and it turns like they go back into his past, and he seems to have had a pretty decent. Not well. The childhood we'll get into later, but
Yeah, yeah.
like in college, he seems to have had a great time. He went to Bard in college in '65.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, not only did he end up playing the drums in a band with two
Hmm.
guys who would later go on to form Steely Dan, Don
Right.
Fagen and Walter Becker. But my man got to hook up with Blythe Danner.
Yeah, he refers to her as his first love. This is, the future Gwyneth Paltrow's mother.
Yeah, like I think I knew about the Steely Dan thing, but the Blythe Danner thing that caught me off. I was like, really?
Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't know that, but yeah, they were classmates, and he speaks fondly of her. He's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was my first love, and he obviously still has affection for her. I didn't get the impression that they were in touch or anything, but
Yeah, I
and they
think
don't talk to Blythe Danner, so
yeah,
maybe
like
they're not on good terms. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he never says that they were boyfriend girlfriend or they were in a relationship. They just said, "Oh, she was one of my great loves," which to me sounds
Yeah.
like a hookup. Like it sounds like yeah, we're just gonna. I
Oh,
don't know.
I mean, it sounds like a relationship to me. I mean,
Does it?
I don't think. Well, he calls her his first love. I don't think you call a hookup your first love.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
you didn't
call
know
me
me.
old fashioned, but
All right, all right, old fashioned. But yeah, and and then they go into how Chevy's always been this tall, very confident,
hmm.
very kind of charming dude, and some people liked him and some people didn't. Like even back then, they get into it because they interview one of his old friends that known him since college, and how from after college they moved to New York City. Chevy got married just
Yeah.
just right out of college, and then one of his best friends bumps into Christopher Guest, who was
Hmm.
looking for people to join the Lemmings, and then his friend was
Yeah,
like,
the
"Oh,
National Lampoon Lemmings, a radio
yeah,
show.
exactly," and the
Well,
friend
and
was
also a live performance show. I shouldn't just say just the radio show.
right, right. And then the friend was like, "Oh, you know Chevy," because like I believe Christopher Guest also went to Bard. It's like you should have Chevy audition, and then Chris is like, "Yeah, I mean he can audition, but he's not my favorite person."
Yeah,
So
and
just
Christopher Guest is one of many people that this documentary did not talk to. I don't think for lack of trying. I think just a lot of people didn't want to go on record about Chevy Chase, especially if they had a low opinion of him or bad experiences with him. Because
yeah,
yeah, what's the upside of you agreeing to be in a doc about somebody and just being like, yeah, I don't like that guy. I never liked that guy. I think he's a raging asshole.
yeah.
So
I mean, I'm surprised they got Garrett Morris to do a interview. Like, I didn't know if they were on good terms because it seems like
yeah.
it seems like from the original cast, it seems like only Aykroyd is the one that's cool with him. Everybody else just kind of rubbed the wrong way with him. But I mean, I'm
I don't know. I mean, I remember Lorraine Newman was at his second Friars Club roast,
yes.
and she was like one of the few actual friends of Chevy Chase who showed up. For that they don't
Mm.
even mention that roast at all
I
in
was
this
I was
thing.
I was wondering if going to bring that up. Yeah, because I actually rewatched it on YouTube, and I was like, oh, you see, like a young Greg Giraldo and
Yeah,
Colbert is there, and Mark Maron, and
I remember Todd Barry's set. He was
yeah.
like, roasting Chevy Chase is as easy as shooting fish in a barrel. It's as easy as being in the vicinity of a barrel.
Yeah, like I
And
mean, as far as like the people from his SNL days, it was just Paul Schaefer, uh, Al
Lorraine
Franken,
Newman.
and
Yeah.
Al Franken, and that's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
And there were so few big time celebrities at this thing that Paul Schaefer does an opening number called "We Couldn't Get Anybody Good." And you see Chevy Chase just sitting there, because he's obviously there on the stage and he's like got his sunglasses on and he just looks like so uncomfortable. He would like rather be anywhere else right now
yeah,
because it's mostly like people who don't know him telling him he's an asshole and he's unfunny and yada yada yada.
yeah, that's not It's not
Not a
fun.
pleasant evening. It's fun if you're being roasted by your friends. It's infuriating if you're being roasted by strangers,
Like complete absolute. Like, who are you? Why are you?
which is which is kind of ironic because it's so much of like Chevy Chase's humor is roast type humor, but he seems to do that before you have the familiarity that makes that okay. You know?
Yeah, and he seems to be the guy who's okay with doing the roasting, but he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like being the roastee.
Right. He can't take it. He can dish it out, but
You
he
know,
can't take it.
which
And
I mean,
it's
when we get to Community, we'll dive into that a little
so
bit
much
more.
of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
So we go into his time with the National Lampoon Lemmings. He's playing piano, guitar, drums. He's performing. They do like a musical review thing. Um, then they very quickly go into the original Saturday Night Live. We see mustachioed Lorne
Woo!
Michaels. Um,
Oh, that mustache, it is magnificent.
it is powerful.
Oh, oh, I can't stare directly at it. It's like an eclipse.
And present day Lorne Michaels was nice enough to talk to them uh, in this doc. So that's nice. That's something.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about how Lauren wanted Chevy to be a writer, but Chevy really
Hmm.
wanted to be in the cast.
Yeah,
Um,
and
and
Lorne only had room for like 6 people in the cast. He says, and Chevy Chase was the last one hired, and he
yeah,
didn't sign his contract for which I guess is sort of how he was able to leave SNL after just one season.
yeah, I guess that makes sense because like for a while I was like, oh, didn't Belushi? No, I was like, oh, Belushi signed later. He signed late, but he did
Yeah,
sign. I
yeah.
see.
I remember in the Saturday Night movie, they made a big deal about like Belushi doesn't sign his contract until I think right before he starts on the show. But yeah, but I think that's what gave Chevy Chase the ability to leave the show early. He left like I think a few episodes into the second season.
Right.
He was the big breakout star guy.
Yeah, and he was the big. I mean, you can sort of see why. Like he's tall. He's comedy handsome.
Hmm.
And of
Yeah,
course he
he's
had.
charismatic. Yeah, he's not classically handsome, but he's handsome for a comedian. So
Yeah, he's got the chin dimple. He's got it all.
hmm he
Of
doesn't
course.
mean prat prawl.
Oh yeah, apparently in the doc he was doing pratfalls way before SNL just to amuse his friends or
Yeah,
himself or whoever was in the vicinity.
yeah.
Just falling downstairs just willy nilly
Hmm.
just to make somebody laugh. And yeah, I mean he got really good at it, and like he was like people started to recognize him. And of course, with the Weekend Update segment where he got to tell the audience, "I'm Chevy Chase and you're not." Like that's how he sort of
Right.
was able to stand apart from the rest of the cast as well.
It was a spotlight segment. It was in the show every week. Yeah, it's really no wonder that he broke out because of that. And also, he has an unusual, distinctive name, and he gets to say it on camera every week. So yeah,
Yeah,
the audience very quickly learned who he was, and he became the breakout guy.
yeah. I mean, it's an alliterative name. You remember it. And of course there were things like the word association sketch, which I would say might have been the first like breakout sketch for the show. Like I have a hard time thinking of anything else before that. I think like once that sketch got on the show, kind of
Hmm.
made a huge that's when the show clicked with everybody. That's when it became. I think it took off. I'd say.
This is of course is the famous job interview sketch where Richard Pryor's interviewing for a job. Chevy Chase is the guy interviewing him, and yeah, we're doing a word association, and it kind of turns into like racial slurs for
Yeah,
some reason.
honky honky,
Honky honky.
dead honky.
Yeah, and then we drop an N bomb or two.
Oh, we do. Oh, we do.
We do, and
Gracious.
and I find it so amazing that this aired on TV in 1975 or early 76, and every time they re-air it, they have to let it go uncensored, even though under today's standards, yeah, you probably would loop out that word, but you can't really admit we're less permissive than we used to be. So
Yeah, you don't want to think that we've regressed.
right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, Chevy just was a breakout star. He came up with the news for the hard of hearing for
Mhm.
Garrett.
Yeah, yeah. Garrett Morris is saying like, yeah, he was one of the few guys who actually made an effort to write for me because Garrett Morris was kind of the odd man out because he was
Yeah,
older than the rest of the cast. He was the only black person there. Not just in the cast, I believe on the writing staff too. So
yeah. I think in the buildings probably sometimes.
probably, probably. So they really weren't writing for Garrett Morris. So
Yeah, and
but Chevy made a point of doing that, which is nice, and that's one of the good things you hear about Chevy Chase.
see, there you
He's
go. See, that's one nice thing. All right.
grab onto it, hold on to it, polish the diamond. It will become very precious later on.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, the show started taking off. Everybody was
Mhm.
getting famous, doing cocaine.
I think
Uh,
Ellen Zweibel actually says that the ratings on SNL would get a bump during Weekend Update. That's
yes,
how.
it would. Yeah.
So yeah, wow.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I mean they won an Emmy. He
mhm.
did a Chevy went to accept it, did a pratfall in front of Red Fox.
Yeah,
And then he got married for a second time to
and
Jacqueline Carlin.
and he says in his acceptance speech, "This was totally expected on my part." So right there, that line that you kind of get the ego, the arrogance of a Chevy Chase, and
Yeah,
it either speaks to you or it doesn't.
yeah. I mean, it is a funny line, but you have to really do like a little wing. You have to let them know, hey, I'm just fucking around. Like, because it could come across as like really like arrogant if you say it wrong. But he'll find that out a little bit
Well,
later on.
fortunately, Chevy Chase never comes across as arrogant.
No, not at all.
I mean,
So, salt of the earth,
also this is neither here nor there. I just want to note it for the record. Paul Schaefer has a really nice looking house.
right? Whoa! I was like,
Gorgeous, gorgeous living room. It's just like this nice white with black accents. He's got. It's just like, damn, Paul Schaefer is living life right.
he's doing all right. He's doing all
Yeah,
right. He ain't podcasting out of a closet.
yeah. No, he's got that Letterman money, son. Uh,
Beautiful, beautiful.
yeah, but yeah, you were saying Chevy Chase. He got married to his second wife, Jacqueline Carlin.
And
Um,
as one of his friends say, he fell in love with Jacqueline, and that was a tactical error on many levels.
yeah, because this was around the time he's starting on SNL, and she doesn't want to move to New York City, where SNL famously is shot.
What?
Yes,
Oh,
live from New York. That's actually not just a tagline of the show. They actually shoot the show in New York, and it
huh?
is broadcast. I've looked into this. It is broadcast live.
Is that done on blue screen or wherever? Is that?
Apparently not. Apparently in 1975 they did not even have that technology. So
Wow. All right. The more you know.
Um, so that was a big reason why Chevy Chase chose to leave the show because he was like, I'm in love with this woman. I think this relationship is going to go the distance. I want to be with her. That's more important to me. So he gives it all up and he moves to L.A. And also he's really hot and he's got you know career heat and stuff, and he's trying to capitalize on that. So he's like, I'm going to do a Farrah Fawcett, David Caruso type of thing,
Yeah.
go off and be a big time movie star and leave this 2-bit show behind me.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Ellen Zweibel who says when they were on a plane on the way to Chevy's wedding, he says they had a lottery on the plane and they were doing a pool and guessing the dates they thought the divorce would happen.
Yeah. I kind of wanted them to go back to Allen and see who won the pool.
I'm very curious too. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, because I mean, it turns out after 9 months they got divorced, and
Ooh,
ooh,
yeah, that didn't turn out so well. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure Chevy Chase has regrets about that, and he's pretty upfront. He says, "Yeah, I shouldn't have left the show when I did. I should have stayed and all that." And that of course created a certain amount of resentment from the people he left behind, and blah 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 blah.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense because like, yeah, he is their first breakout star, and he was their, I guess, their best chance of having the show become a hit. Like a really, I mean, the
Yeah,
show was a hit, but like he was like the one anchoring the show, I guess,
right.
for the longest time. So to have your anchor leave and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go to L.A. and make millions of dollars and enjoy the sunshine. That's like, I can see how it feels like a betrayal to many people. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we're just getting started here. This is like our little thing, and if you go, this show is like it's oh But yeah,
Yeah.
I understand why. It's a
And
bummer.
and they showed like present day 82-year-old Chevy Chase with his assistant. They're like going through fan mail, and he's like signing the occasional photograph or reading nice notes from people and stuff. And it's a not insubstantial amount of fan mail. He's got like a big good sized box of it.
Yeah, I mean, he got a birthday card from Bill Clinton.
Yeah, yeah. And Chevy Chase says like, "Oh yeah, I liked Clinton as a president, and I thought he was good." And I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, all right." So
There, see, another good thing right there.
I can agree with Chevy Chase about a couple things. And then they sort of continue the retrospective of his career. He's going off to Hollywood to be a movie star. He does a movie called Foul Play with Goldie Hawn.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never
and
seen
Goldie
that
Hawn
movie.
actually says nice things about him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, because I mean, Goldie mentions like, yeah, this is when I was divorced, raising two kids. Kate
Yeah,
and the other
Oliver,
Oliver, yes,
Oliver
and
Hudson.
Oliver Hudson, yes, and
She was
I think,
married to one of the guys from the Hudson Brothers Razzle Dazzle show, which I remember watching as a
wow,
young kid. Yep.
razzled. Okay,
Yep.
and
It was the 70s, baby.
yeah,
It was
right
like a
on.
70s variety show.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think after and Goldie mentioned after one time shooting, or like after the shoot, like Chevy and her went to her place, and like the kids were asleep, and like Chevy
Yes.
helped tuck the kids into bed, and like he was like kind of playing piano, while Goldie checked on the kids, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know how you do it. This is like really amazing. You're a single mom, like really like
Yeah.
uncharacteristically Chevy Chase things to do. He's doing."
Yeah. You're like, wow, did like Sam Beckett like quantum leap into Chevy Chase at that moment and like show sensitivity? Is
Quantum
that
leap!
what happened here?
Oh my god!
Was it actually Scott Bakula who did all this stuff?
Dean Stockwell came in with a cigar. Ziggy says you gotta leap again,
You got to
Sam.
be nice to Goldie Hawn, Sam.
You can't leap, Sam. Oh my god, Quantum Leap! I love that show so much.
That's a banger of a show, right?
I mean, that final episode, it still makes me mad. But the show. Other than that, the show was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Great show. Great show.
Yeah, and
Um,
but yeah, and then they talk about all of his other huge hit movies like
mhm.
Caddyshack and National Lampoon's Vacation and Fletch.
Yes.
They talked to Ryan Reynolds, who was like, "Yeah, I was really inspired by Chevy. Like, if you watch Van Wilder, I'm just doing a Chevy Chase impression in that movie."
Yeah. Yeah. And Spies Like Us and Three Amigos. We've covered all of those movies except for Foul Play on the podcast. So
Uh,
yeah, we've hit a lot of his high points in his movie career.
yeah, we've done the good movies. The bad ones, we have
We'll
not.
get to him eventually, I
Eventually,
suppose.
eventually, we'll get there, I guess. But yeah,
We got to space out the bad ones. We
yeah.
can't. The podcast can't be just a steady diet of us all watching awful movies because it honestly it gets way too depressing.
Oof. Yeah, because yeah, like if you look to it
Like
some
Chevy
other thing.
Chase's movie career, some great highs and some low lows, man.
Lois.
They're running through those movies and you're just like, all right, Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Vacation, Fletch, Spies Like Us, Three Amigos. He's really had some great movies, and then like they get to some of the other ones later, and I was like, oh right, he's also had a lot of shit.
Oh, PU. Yes, I
Yeah,
remember this. But yeah, I mean, one of those movies. I never saw Under the Rainbow. I've heard
I've
mixed.
seen Under the Rainbow. Yes,
Is it good?
not really. No,
Okay.
it's interesting. It's.
Okay.
Do you know the premise Under the Rainbow?
It's like something about the Wizard of Oz or something.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like It's a comedy about behind the scenes of the Wizard of Oz. Like because the myth or the urban legend is that all of the Munchkin actors were like drunken and carousing, and they were having all these wild times behind the scenes. And I think that's like greatly exaggerated, but
Okay.
it makes a nice story. So it's been passed down through the years. And there's also like this some sort of spy thing going on too. And Chevy Chase is like the leading man in this. And there's like a Nazi spy who's a little person.
Okay.
And Carrie Fisher was the female lead.
All right.
Um, and I saw this movie on cable, like when I was a kid, I would, my parents divorced when I was pretty young, and so my sister and I, we would visit my dad. We would fly to visit my dad like once or twice a year, like once during summer vacation, once the week between Christmas and New Year's. And one of the treats of seeing my dad was he had pay cable.
Yeah.
This was like in an era when it was like kind of a rarity to have like HBO and stuff. And so I'd be like, "Hey, I get to watch HBO this week."
Get to
Yeah.
see some
And
boobs.
exactly. I'm a young hormonal kid, and I get to see boobs. So one of the moments I remember from this movie is the Nazi spy little person, who I think was played by Billy Barty. He at
Okay.
one point is has like a he's holding a sword on Carrie Fisher, and he like cuts her dress off, and her dress falls to the ground. She's there in her bra and underwear, and he
Oh
and
my.
he looks and goes, "Not bad." I don't
Awooga.
remember much else about this movie. I haven't seen it since sometime in the early '80s, but
Okay.
yes, it is a Chevy Chase movie that exists, and I'm sure it is like largely forgotten these days.
Yeah, because like I vaguely remember hearing about it, but yeah, I did not
Yeah,
see
but
anything about
but
that.
the big thing on Under the Rainbow was he meets his third wife Janie on the movie. She was the production coordinator for the movie, and he invites her to the premiere of whatever his latest movie was.
Right.
Um, and Chevy Chase was like a pretty big star at this point. They at one point they show a clip of him hosting the Academy Awards to give you an idea of just how huge Chevy Chase was
Yeah. No.
in the late
I think
'70s, early '80s.
yeah, I think people forget he was a big deal
Mm-hmm.
for a while, a long while.
Yeah, you
But
don't host the Oscars unless you're a big deal
yeah,
somewhere somehow.
it's kind of a big deal.
Yep,
And yeah, he was able to woo Janie, and they got married in a very small wedding. Had three
like 40
daughters.
people.
Yeah, 40 people, including the caterers, I think they said. And yeah, and then he was able to he'd have three kids and three daughters, and yeah, things were looking up. And
Yeah,
then cocaine came into
and
the issues.
cocaine, and there's also a segment. We have a lot of breakaways to Chevy Chase in the present, and we see him at one point. He I also put in my notes like Chase is always doing shtick whenever there's a sincere moment. So I think he got some question about his wife, and he was again he goes for a joke first thing.
Yeah, it's like he can't turn it off. It's just
No,
just 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 be sincere. Leave the tender moment alone. Let's just be nice here,
I mean,
man.
yeah, Billy Joel had it right. Leave a
Right?
tender moment alone.
He did. He did have
Um,
it right. You get it.
yeah. I mean, Billy Joel right about most things.
Hmm.
You know, um, but we see Chevy Chase. He's going out and he's getting flowers for his wife, and even there, he's getting a little dicky because he's given the florist grief while he's doing it. I mean, he's doing shtick, and then he also like gives the florist grief. It's like, oh, this arrangement's like $400, and it's just I don't know. I On one hand, it's very sweet he's getting flowers for his wife for seemingly no reason, but on the other
Yeah.
hand, it's like that poor guy's just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
Stop giving him grief, Chevy Chase.
Yeah. It's like, hey, man, I'm just selling flowers, baby. Come on. Yeah. It is a thing. He does. I mean, Chevy does play it up. Like you could tell he's not really upset about the price tag, but I
No,
don't. Yeah.
he's not really doing it maliciously, but it's just that sort of like pay attention to me, pay attention to me
Yeah. It's
sort of
like I.
thing that
I do
yeah,
wonder.
it gets exhausting.
Yeah, like I do wonder. Like, is he just doing that because the camera's on him and he's always has to be on, or is this how he
I
is?
don't know.
It's like just relax, man. It's okay. You could just be a person. I don't. He does that. He does that. There's one. We'll get there, but there's one moment where he really does that. Where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
all right, dude. Don't. Come on,
Yeah.
man. What the fuck? I think you
Yeah.
know what I mean, like the fly thing,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
we'll get there.
Yeah,
But
that's a weird moment.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck, man? Come on, just be normal, you weirdo. But
Just get
any,
real. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
but
but yeah,
yeah, but
so yeah, about this time, yeah, cocaine rears its ugly head. As Robin Williams said, cocaine is God's way of telling you you're making too much money. Great quote. Yeah, there was a movie called Modern Problems, and his friend, I believe it was Alan Graceman, who says like, yeah, we were having script discussions, and he's actually doing cocaine while going over the script.
Yeah, I looked up the premise. I never heard about Modern Problems. I've kind of heard. Actually, no, I have heard of it.
This was
But
another one that I saw on cable back in the day. I think in hopes of like seeing some nudity. I believe I was grievously disappointed for this movie, so I don't remember it as well.
2 thumbs down, no boobs.
Yeah, no Carrie Fisher in her underwear. Thumbs down. He's a guy who gets like psychic or telekinetic powers through some sort of accident.
Yeah, he comes in contact with nuclear waste and gets the powers of telekinesis.
Okay,
and
okay. And I remember Nell Carter is in it, like a pre-Gimme a Break Nell Carter.
Yeah.
I don't know if people really remember Nell Carter these days, but she was pretty famous for a while there in the 80s.
I feel like she's kind of forgotten, unfortunately.
Yeah, she had a sitcom called Gimme a Break where she was like a sassy maid.
Yeah.
Helping raise a white family as you did.
As you did, but as was the style at the time.
I mean, yeah, black people were not allowed to have their own families outside of good times. So
right. That was it.
That was it. That was like the one black family we were allowed as a nation. Yeah, it was either white people raising black children or sassy black domestic helpers raising white children. Those were the two choices.
Yeah, that's why it's only Sanford and Son. He could only have the one son.
That's right. Yeah, no, he wasn't allowed more than the one son.
That's right. It's like China rules. I know. I mean, the Cosby Show really broke the glass ceiling on that one.
It really did. It really did.
Like the father's a doctor and black. What?
The wife is a lawyer. What?
What?
Apparently Chevy Chase got electrocuted at some point during this movie.
Yeah, they kind of breezed by that. Yeah, like he was doing some act out mime thing that the director wanted him to do, which he had a weird relationship with him, and like the director put like lights on him, and like
they were filming a dream sequence where he was like an airplane, and they were putting like landing lights on him or something.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird.
And apparently he was grounded, and like the electrical current is going through him, and people thought that Chevy Chase was just pretending to be electrocuted, but no, he was actually being electrocuted. So, wow, 80s were wild, man.
What crazy, baby? Pass that coke. So then they go into the Terry Sweeney incident from the weird year, 1985.
Yeah, somebody, I didn't write down who said this, but somebody said like, oh, Chevy doesn't know he's mean. And it's like, well, I think he kind of does, but he just doesn't care. But
yeah.
So Chevy Chase, he comes back to host SNL in 1985. This is the season of the show, which was recently in one of the 50th anniversary specials called The Weird Year, which was the first year that Lorne Michaels came back to the show. He had a very eclectic cast. This is the year we had Joan Cusack and Randy Quaid and Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall and John Lovitz and Dennis Miller and Nora Dunn. And did I mention that people were doing a lot of cocaine in the 80s? Because it bears repeating.
Oh, my God. China White, the greatest producer. He worked in TV and film.
Yeah. And so, like, Chevy Chase comes back to host, and apparently he was acting like the show was beneath him.
He had a few stinkers under his belt at this time.
And one of the cast members at the time was Terry Sweeney, who was the first actual out gay cast member, which is pretty revolutionary for 1985, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely, I'd say.
I mean, you did not see gay people on TV, or if you did, they were not allowed to acknowledge that they were gay, You had Paul Lynn on Hollywood Squares, and that was about it.
Yeah. Jim J. Bullock, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And they were gay, they were just eccentric.
Yeah, it's just oh, Charles Nelson Riley. People, he's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wild guy.
Liberace's just never met the right woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and so yeah, so Chevy Chase is there, and he's like meeting with the cast and the writers, and he says at one point, and this is they actually read the passage from the book Live from New York, detailing this because Chevy apparently doesn't remember this at all. And Chevy Chase says to Terry Sweeney, he's like, "Oh, you're the gay guy," and Terry Sweeney says something like, "Oh yes, what can I do for you?" And Chevy Chase says, "Oh God, what did he say?" He was like, "Oh,
Lick my balls.
you can lick my balls to start." Yeah, and then
Which
he also suggests a he says a bit where like we say you have AIDS and we weigh you every week. And this
oh,
is in 1985 when the AIDS epidemic was like at its height. That was like, oh God. I mean, that is just in such horrible, horrible taste.
but John, he wrote "News for the Hard of Hearing" for Garrett Morris. That's a
Right.
good thing he did,
Right.
right?
And he called Richard Pryor the N word, and they loved each other.
Which,
And
by the way, I don't think that's true. Because isn't there like a Johnny Carson interview where Chevy and Richard are on the panel,
I think
and
so. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like Carson's like, "Hey, what do you think of Chevy?" And like Richard Pryor looks Carson right in the eyes, like, "Yeah, I don't like him," and
Yeah.
it looks like he's not joking.
Uh huh. I can
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah. Like I don't think Richard Pryor very much cared for Chevy either.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's just sort of Chevy Chase's self-serving mythology there. Um, and so yeah, so apparently Chevy Chase offended everyone, but he was like forced to apologize to Terry Sweeney, and they read this passage of the Live from New York book to Chevy Chase, and Chevy Chase is like, "Oh yeah, no, that's all lies. I wasn't forced to apologize." And
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's also not even aware if Terry Sweeney is still alive. He's referring to him in the past tense.
yeah,
And
and
then when
then
he's told he's like actually still alive, he doesn't really care.
yeah, and then when they read the passage of what Terry Sweeney
Yeah,
said, and then Chevy's like, "No, that's a lie." Then he gets angry at the interviewer and lashes out at her, saying, "Like now I feel bad because you now that's in my head because you told me this lie." Like he flips it where it's like, "Oh, this is like this is your fault that I look you made me look bad over this lie that didn't happen," and it's like, wow,
right,
wow, really? You're gonna
right. And
gaslight?
also, he's like, that never happened. And if it did happen, I've changed as a person since then. And it's
Have
like,
you?
well, which is it, dude? Because
That never
either it
happened.
didn't happen or you've evolved as a person. You can't really have it both ways.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think you'd see like if he really has evolved, he would say something like, "Yeah, I feel really horrible about saying
He
that."
would express sincere regret.
Yeah, just nothing about that. Like the interviewer says like, "Yeah, Terry was hurt by this," and he doesn't really react to that at all. And it's
Right.
more about him being defending himself, and
Yeah.
he does not.
How I was hurt.
Yeah, he does not come off good in that moment. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
and Terry Sweeney declines to be interviewed for the documentary. I think understandably, because well, yeah. Why do you want to relitigate this thing from 40 years ago? I mean, if I were in Terry Sweeney's shoes, I don't think I would want to do it because, especially
Yeah,
since it's been covered ad infinitum elsewhere.
yeah,
But
you don't want to relive this horrible moment.
yeah, if you've ever read the Live from New York oral history, it is kind of amazing because it's like once a decade, Chevy Chase comes back to host SNL and he like reoffends whoever the current cast is at the time.
I don't,
I mean,
it's,
it's almost comical how just
it's like
he
yeah,
comes and alienates a new generation of SNL
yeah.
stars.
It's like renewing a driver's license. You have to do it every
Yeah,
year just to
he has to do that. Yeah, that's how he maintains his youth.
exactly.
I offended Terry Sweeney in 1985. I have to offend Sherry or Terry now that it's 1995.
Oh my! Wait, did she offend Sherry O'Terry?
That was just the name I pulled out of
Oh,
the hat.
okay, all right. I feel like he might have offended somebody in the '90s, but I can't remember.
I'm sure he did, and I can't remember that exact thing, but I know that there is some tale of him offending the '90s cast.
I believe it.
I just don't remember who. I think Will Ferrell had some critical things to say about Mr.
Oh,
Chase,
oh man,
but it's been a while since I've reread the Live from New York books. So
two of the tallest cast members, just mano a mano, eye to
that's
eye.
right. That's right.
But yeah, even Zweibel was like, yeah, the old Chevy could put you down, but he would let you know that he was just joking. But like, as he got older, he did become meaner. He says, and
Well,
like,
and also it's like if you're gonna do that shit to somebody, it helps if you know the person first. If you're just doing
yes,
it out of the blue, you're just an asshole.
yeah. I mean,
Like you and I, we might make fun of each other, but we're old friends at this point, and
yeah,
we're allowed to.
exactly. I know you're fucking around. Like, there's some people. I mean, I feel like some comedians. I feel like all comedians should know this, but a lot don't. There are some comedians you can joke around with one way that you wouldn't joke around with another way in front of certain people. Like, our friend John Minus. I know Minus has a really dark sense of humor, so I could say dark shit in front of him, but I wouldn't joke like that in front of other comics or other people I know, because I know they would be like, "Ew, what the fuck is wrong with you?" And like,
right.
Like you have to test out the waters. You can't be one of these people that's like, "Oh well, I joke like this in front of this comedian, so all comedians must like this way of joking."
Yes.
Like, that's like, nah, man, nah, that's fuck that.
Yeah, no, not good.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're around 1986. This is when Chevy's family kind of realizes that he has become seriously addicted to cocaine. He has a serious problem. They have an intervention. He goes to the Betty Ford Clinic, which is kind of ironic since Chevy Chase kind of made his name imitating Gerald Ford on SNL.
Part of me was hoping like somebody from the Ford family would be like, well, look, whatever.
Look who's here.
Look who's here.
And he checks out after a week, which
that was weird. Like,
yeah, so apparently he just kind of detoxed there and then checked out, and he's like, "No, this isn't for me." But
it's like, all right,
okay,
yeah. And then we get into the late '80s, where we get into the less favorable films of Mr. Chevy Chase. Things like
all the bad movies. Yeah, I'd forgotten how many bad movies there were. It was like there was Funny Farm, there was Caddyshack 2,
Fletch Lives,
which I've never seen all the way through, but I understand is horrible.
A film called Deal of the Century, which I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, with Gregory Hines and Sigourney Weaver. Never seen it. I remember the video cover very well because I'd always see it when I went to Blockbuster. And it's like Gregory Hines and Chevy Chase both giving thumbs up and Sigourney Weaver giving a thumbs down on the cover.
Yeah, and I looked up. That's a film directed by William Friedkin, the guy that did The Exorcist, and that movie was like not very well received. And of course, Jersey's own Nothing But Trouble.
Yes, yeah, that's sort of an infamous movie with like Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and Demi Moore and Dan Aykroyd and lots of hideous makeup and
like I always think about, should we do this movie for the podcast? But every time I see that makeup, it makes me kind of queasy. I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit through this.
It's very off-putting. Yeah.
Look, I love the Digital Underground just as much as the next guy, but I don't know if I want to watch this movie just to get to that part.
Yeah.
Like, Tupac is in this movie. That's how wild is that?
Tupac is in that movie?
I'm pretty sure, because he was a road when he was super young. He was like a roadie for Digital Underground, like in the late '80s. Okay. So I think he's definitely in that music video, same song, and I'm pretty sure he was in the movie, like as one of the roadies, the background guys. I gotta look it up. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
I've never heard that before.
I might be speaking out of turn.
I might have seen a trailer for it. I think I read an article about Nothing But Trouble in Starlog back in the day. But yeah, this is okay.
I'll look. All right, well, maybe we will do it for the podcast now that I put it out there.
Okay. Well, and another movie that Chevy Chase did around this time, I think it came out in '93, was Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which was directed by John Carpenter, who Did Big Trouble in Little China, Starman, The Thing. Um, like a pretty big time director. And they had some pretty impressive special effects for the time, but apparently not a good movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but yeah, from what I hear, it's
And
not the best. And I'm looking it up right now. Yes, Tupac Shakur is in Nothing But Trouble. There's like a few scenes he pops up in.
that is wild. I have never heard that before in my life. That's wow. I mean, I knew he acted a bit. He did that movie with Janet Jackson, I remember.
He did that. He was in Juice. He was in
Yeah.
I forget what other film. Oh, Poetic Justice. That's the one you think about, Janet
That's
Jackson.
it. That's it. Yeah, I knew it
Uh,
was something with justice in it. Yeah.
yeah, he was in some other things I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, like people say he was very good
But
and a good
they show
actor.
a clip of John Carpenter. I think it's a clip from back in the day. He's saying like, "Yeah, I wanted to quit the business after working with Chevy Chase."
Damn.
And I don't think he really goes into specifics, but it was just apparently not a good experience at all.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't mention the whole Chris Columbus thing too in this film. I thought that was a pretty big deal too. Like how,
Refresh my memory on the Chris Columbus thing.
well, Chris Columbus was going to direct National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and
Okay.
until he met Chevy, Chevy said something really weird to him. Like from what Chris Columbus said, like he was describing his vision for the movie, and like to Chevy Chase, and Chevy Chase kind of seemed to be not listening. And then
Hmm.
at one point, like during, Chris, giving his spiel, Chevy interrupts him and said, "Hey, wait a minute, whoa, are you the director of this film?" And Chris is like, "Yeah, I'm directing it." And then Chevy says, "Oh, I thought you were the drummer." And to this day,
What?
yeah, Chris Columbus doesn't understand that joke either. He does not. Like to this day, he doesn't know why he said that.
I
And
don't think I've
then
heard that story before.
yeah, and
That's wild.
yeah, and then Chris Columbus is like, "All right, well, I'll just go back into the spiel." And then Chevy says, "Yeah, I gotta go," and then he just leaves. And it was at that point Chris was like, I can't work with this guy. I gotta leave." And then
Wow.
he leaves the film and he goes to direct this other film called Home Alone.
And how'd that work out for him?
I think pretty well. I heard pretty
Okay.
well.
All right. Good. Good.
Yeah. So because Chevy Chase was such a dick, Chris Columbus got to go do Home Alone.
Yeah. And eventually Home Alone 2. And nobody in that movie was a dick.
No. Oh, why you got to bring that up, man?
Anyway.
But I was surprised that they brought that up. But yeah, like so at this point we're in the downslide of
Yeah.
Chevy's career. And
By the way, Johnny Galecki, who is Rusty Griswold Mark III from Christmas Vacation, he was one of the few people that they talked to.
oh yeah, from Roseanne,
Yeah. From
absolutely.
Roseanne, Big Bang Theory, and yeah.
That guy, yeah,
He's done pretty well for himself.
he's doing all right, doing all right. And
Getting good grades. Future so bright. Gotta wear shades.
hey, and yeah, the slide for Chevy Chase's career just kind of keeps going down because now we're at the part. I think you and I might remember when this was a thing. The Chevy Chase Show.
Chevy
Remember
Chase
that?
Show. He got a talk show in 1993. This is like the early 90s, like right after Carson retired, and Arsenio Hall had kind of come out of nowhere to make it big, and Letterman and Leno are going head to head, and everybody's trying to get a piece of that talk show pie. They gave Magic Johnson the talk show for some reason.
Oh, the Magic Hour. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember Into the Night with Rick Dees?
I do. I do remember that.
Woo! Hot
Yeah,
damn.
as yeah, everybody and his brother had a talk show. And they
Ugh.
gave Chevy Chase a talk show, which I guess made sense on paper.
Yeah, but even his old agent was like, "Yeah, I never liked that. I, I hated that idea of him being a talk show host because like it doesn't play to Chevy's strengths, and like
Yeah,
he just did not like from the rip he didn't like it. But I think his Chevy's lawyer slash manager talked him into it.
yeah,
Or
his manager at the time, and they talk about how like how tough it is to do a talk show or be a good talk show host because it's like you have to know about your guests and know about current events and blah blah blah, and think on your feet and be good at interviews and stuff like that, and not really Chevy Chase's skill set, and it was canceled after a grand total of 6 weeks.
whew,
So
yeah,
yeah,
and you can sort of see why. Like when you watch the footage, like he looks very nervous. Which I mean, for Chevy Chase, that's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, he looks very
He's
well, at least because yeah, he carried himself with that swagger. So yeah, it
yeah,
is
and
very
like
strange to see him nervous
yeah.
and stumbling over a joke, and yeah,
Yeah, you see him like, swagger less, and he's like he's stumbling and flubbing over jokes. One of his first guests was Robert De Niro, who's a notoriously terrible guest on talk shows.
yeah,
And
doesn't do many. Yeah,
yeah, no, like he's always like if you ever see him on a talk show, he gives very like short one word answers, and you have to like.
yeah,
I mean,
or
I
he's
think
getting shot by the Joker.
yeah, there's that too. Oh, you think
It's
that's
a really weird thing. Yeah.
you think that's funny? Yeah, I mean, if you go watch his interview when he did Jimmy Fallon on Fallon's first episode, it's pretty notorious, like how like
Oh,
Fallon.
really? Let me get this straight. One of the worst interviewers ever, and one of the worst interview subjects ever,
Yeah,
and somehow that turned into a bad interview. Really? Really?
yeah, not the best.
Huh? Jimmy Fallon couldn't get good, interesting answers out of Robert De Niro.
He couldn't
Hard to
crack.
believe.
He couldn't crack that egg. How about that?
Wow.
And
Wow.
but yeah,
Color
the
me
show.
surprised.
Yeah, and the talk show was off the air after 6 weeks, and like I think his former agent even said that. Yeah, like I always. Yeah, he said like I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I always got the impression that Chevy didn't take his career as seriously as he should have. Like he kind of just fell ass backward into things, and
Hmm.
people around him were serious about his career. People wanted him to succeed and do bigger things, but he never took himself that seriously.
I
And
wonder if that's because he had such quick and early success. Things came maybe
mhm,
a little too easily to him. And so
that's a good point.
when things started to get a little tougher for him in the late 80s, early 90s, he maybe didn't realize, oh, I'm going to have to work a little harder,
Yeah, like he didn't
I
sort of.
can't just coast on my charm anymore.
Yeah, like he didn't build up the stamina or the callousness to like really know how to fight for his
Yeah.
place, or it's like because like everything just was handed to him, and now
Well, also,
yeah.
it also helps to have a long term career if you're able to maintain good relationships with people and that you have regular
Mm,
collaborators that you can come back to. If you're constantly alienating everyone you work with,
yeah, that's true.
that's not a good recipe for long term success.
Yeah, he definitely burned a whole heap of bridges.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's oof. But yeah, like so he found out on his 50th birthday that the show is getting canned, and then he just went into this deep depression, wouldn't get out of
Yeah.
bed,
Yeah.
and
He says he like went through 6 or 7 years of depression,
yeah,
which is wow. That's hardcore.
that is oof.
And
Yeah.
and at this point in the doc, they get into his childhood a little bit, and I wish they'd gotten a little more into this because it was interesting, and I hadn't heard much about this. Like his parents divorced when he was 4. His mother remarried, but his stepfather was a very humorless man.
Yes, it was
And
abusive.
yeah, and his mother was also abusive. They said that like his mother would wake him up by slapping him,
Yeah,
and
I think
it
somebody
wasn't
said,
uncommon for him to be locked in a closet.
yeah, Jesus. I remember somebody had said, oh, she was a real bag of cats, which
Uh huh.
I haven't heard that term in forever. And yeah, and they said like she was on the schizoid spectrum. So it seems like she was also had her own mental issues, and she
Uh
kind of
huh.
took it out on Chevy, which
Hmm.
that does explain a that does explain a lot after hearing that part for sure. I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah, and like his stepfather found him insolent. They actually used the word insolent, which I wasn't aware anybody outside of Doctor Evil used that word anymore. But
he was insolent.
I had him liquidated. He was insolent.
God. It's a good word to use. I wish more people would use it.
Yeah, and you find this with a lot of comedians who had unhappy childhoods. They develop their sense of humor or whatever as a coping mechanism to kind of uh, get past that or get beyond that. And
Yeah, yeah, sad
that
clown.
happens with a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, so this is the point that kind of frustrated me, where the interviewer, the director, was like saying, "Was there a point where you walked away from them and never talked to them again?"
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then Chevy pretends to see an imaginary fly, smacks himself on the forehead, killing the imaginary fly, pretends to eat the imaginary fly, and
Yeah.
then stares back at the interviewer. So, like, as the interviewer's trying to get him to break down those walls, he does a bit. He does
He
a.
just goes into shtick.
He's
It
like,
just he just is not willing to ever get real, and it's like, well, why the fuck did you agree to do this documentary?
yeah, exactly. Like, are you trying to like, reshape your image? Like, are you? I don't. I mean, one thing that I kind of wish they went into was like, has he ever gone to therapy? I don't. I would assume not, but
That's a
like,
great question. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
because I mean, I don't know if they did want to get into it or not, but he definitely is somebody who should go to therapy.
he doesn't seem like an introspective type of person.
Yeah, like
He's just very much, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And I guess that served him well enough in life that he's never felt the need. If I had to guess, I would say no,
yeah, but I
because
mean,
he doesn't strike me as a person who's been in therapy.
yeah, yeah, it does. Because, but that, I mean, I would feel like isn't there any like little part of you that wants to sort of get over all the trauma you've been through and like really deconstruct it and like maybe find some new happiness or like a new way of being or some new clarity or anything like that? Like, you just want to just lean on the crutch of shticks and bits, all the live long day? Like, that doesn't. I don't
Look,
know, man.
Aaron, I mean, you can go to therapy and learn how to deal with your issues and become a better person, or you can just bury it all deep inside you, and that'll never ever come bubbling back up and cause you any problems further down the line. I mean, come on.
2009 Community.
Give me. Let's see. So by this point, Chevy Chase and his family, they've moved to Bedford, New York, to kind of get away from the Hollywood scene, I guess.
Right.
But Chevy Chase has like a bit of a career revival. He gets a job on Community. I remember like a little before this, he was on, I think it was the second season of Chuck. Did you watch that show at all?
Oh, sporadically, not religiously.
I was a faithful watcher of Chuck, and he had a part in, I believe, the second season of the show, and he was like sort of a villainous role, and he was very good in it. I was like, oh yeah, hey, Chevy Chase is good in this. I was like, it's a bit of a career revival. And then like a little while later on NBC, same network, he's on Community, and he's playing Pierce Hawthorne, and he ends up on the show for 4 seasons, which is, I mean, that's 4 times as long he was on SNL. It's the longest job he's ever had, as far as I know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. Yeah, because he got the sorry, like he got the script. He loved it. Thought Dan Harmon was a genius, and
Dan Harmon was the writer and creator of the show.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So I say Dan Harmon like because like you and I are huge fans of Community, so we know about.
We are.
I forget. Yeah. So yeah, he moved out to L.A. To be on the show. His daughter,
along with one of his daughters.
Yeah, because she was trying to break into the business too. The mom got them a place to live, and she lived with his dad. And I mean, it seemed like the only person they got to talk about the days of Community was Jay Chandrasekhar, who's part of Broken Lizard, who's in Super Troopers, who directed a few episodes of Community.
I mean, not just seems, he is literally the only person from the Community days who is talking on camera to this this documentary. And he had one of the great understatements of all time. He says there was a little bit of negativity between Chevy and the rest of the cast.
Yeah. He heard Chevy could be challenging.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, lots of stories about Chevy's behavior or misbehavior on Community came out in the press. And so we, like, you and I, we witnessed all this in real time because we were like fans of the show.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And they talk about how at one point in the second season of the show, Dan Harmon kind of deals with Chevy Chase by having his character Pierce break both his legs. So like Chevy's in a wheelchair, and they could shoot him more or less separately from the rest of the cast and shoot him out for the day where they're getting all of his coverage.
Yeah, like
and then letting him go, and then the rest of them could kind of get to work and maybe enjoy the rest of the day without Chevy's toxic presence, it sounds like.
Yeah, it just seemed like right off the rip he was creating animosity with the cast. And yeah, like I think they said like they shot all his scenes early so that he could be
Yeah.
wrapped early. And then once he left the set, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, all right, now we can play, now we can relax."
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, pretty much everybody in the Community cast has tackled this question to one degree or another. And I honestly, I do not blame any of them for not wanting to relitigate all this stuff from nearly 20 years ago all over again.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I think Joel McHale does talk about it on some other podcasts and whatnot.
he
But
talked
like,
about it on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast,
yes.
Inside of You. I saw him on Mark Norman uh,
Oh, Sam Morril.
and Sam Morrill's podcast, We Might Be Drunk. And he talked about it on both of those. On We Might Be Drunk, he like deflects the question a little more because I think he's getting a little tired of it by that point.
I've
But
done other stuff too, guys. Can we talk about
yeah,
that?
and funnily enough, Joel McHale ended up playing Chevy Chase
Mm,
in a Stupid and Futile Gesture, uh, the
fantastic film.
biopic
Yeah.
of Doug Kenny. Yeah, great film, and Joel McHale is very funny in it. Um,
Yeah, and like I mean, it seems like I don't know. Like it seems like I've been trying to understand like why he was antagonistic, but it I mean they kind of hint on it a little bit where they kind of show that Chevy's starting to realize that like he's the old guy in the cast, like he's like the out of touch old fart because he's at this point he's an older
yeah,
man and he's with younger cast members, and a lot of them are don't remember like what a big
yeah.
deal he was, and like they didn't
It's
grow
sort
up
of a
with comedy.
generational thing because, like, yeah, I mean, Chevy Chase is what probably like 70-ish at this point.
I think so. He's like,
Um,
yeah, he's in his 80s now, so yeah.
yeah, so if he's not 70, he's like closing in on it at this time. I can't do math. Um, yeah, I mean, it was my understanding there would be no math, and
Hey,
and I think Chevy Chase's self image never really changed from when he was like the young hunky guy, where he was like the handsomest guy in the room and the smartest guy in the room and the funniest guy and the wittiest guy in the room. He was always that he was like that guy he played in Caddyshack or Fletch.
right.
And I don't think his self image ever really moved on from that. And I don't think he really accepted that A, I'm a supporting character in this show, and B, I am playing like an older, out of touch dude.
Yeah, I do think his ego kind of got the best of him in
Yeah.
this thing, and also like the cast members would like lightly tease him about a few things. I think like one of them asked him if he had email, and he's like, "Yeah, I do,"
Uh-huh.
but that's back in New York. And like
Right.
I think he was serious. He was serious, and like they didn't,
Mm-hmm.
that they kind of you know ribbed him about it a little bit, like no different than any
Right.
of the ribbing that Chevy would do to people throughout his entire career. But like in this
Right.
instance, Chevy kind of hit him a little bit harder. He started drinking more, and drinking on set it
Yeah.
became more difficult.
And you also had people on the show like I mean Joel McHale, he's the young hunky guy in his 30s.
Right.
Donald Glover is the young up and coming comedic guy in his early 20s, and he's also handsome. And I think it maybe was tough for Chevy Chase to accept that, like, oh, I'm not the it guy anymore.
I really think that's it. Like again, like the fact that he was like a supporting character, like you said, and
Hmm.
he was like, "Oh, I'm the past. These guys are the future," and like
Yeah,
I'm not I'm not okay with that.
but if you watch like I think the first few episodes of Community, especially, Chevy Chase is really good in them. I mean,
It,
he plays the hell out of Pierce Hawthorne, and it's some of the best writing he ever got in his career. So
yeah,
it just boggles my mind that he wasn't more appreciative of it. And Chevy Chase has sort of criticized Community a lot over the years. He's like, "Oh, I don't think the show was very funny," and it's like, well,
like that's a lie.
better writing than you had for most of your movies, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't as hilarious as Funny Farm.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out
I've
of
never
here.
seen Funny Farm, but from what I understand, not very good. But
Not as good as Cops and Robertsons. Like
yeah,
whatever,
but I
dude.
mean, and they talk about how he was maybe sort of becoming a functional alcoholic, and he was even drinking on the set.
Yeah. And
And
then there's the infamous rap party incident.
yeah, which I really don't feel like I gave the correct context for.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, well, I mean, okay, it has been covered extensively elsewhere, but they talk about how Chevy Chase came to the season wrap party, and I think this was a season 3 wrap party, if I
Mm,
remember correctly.
right.
Um, and Dan Harmon was leading the cast and crew in a chant of "Fuck you, Chevy" when he came in, and they don't really get into the reasons why on that. Do you know the story on this?
I know bits and pieces of it. I think it's just one of those things where there was just so much, tension around when Chevy was around and what he was doing, and like I think it was just kind of a note, like everybody on set could agree that yeah, like he's kind of a dick. So like I
Yeah,
think,
well, I mean, it wasn't just that general dickishness. There was a specific thing, and I just looked it up. Okay, so towards the end of season 3, there was an episode of Community called Digital Estate Planning, which is the
ooh,
one where the group gets sucked into like an 8-bit video game that was created by Pierce Hawthorne's father, Cornelius Hawthorne.
fantastic episode, love it.
Great episode, great episode. Guest stars Giancarlo Esposito as
Mm,
Pierce's stepbrother
yes.
or half brother, I forget which. Anyway, um, so there was going to be a tag in this. Oh yeah, I just found this. Okay, on the Community fandom, it says the original in tag scripted for this episode had Abed give Pierce an edited version of the Journey to the Center of the Hawthorne video game that allowed him to get closure with his dad. This clip was never filmed due to Chevy Chase refusing to film the scene. Um, on March 21st, 2012, Deadline.com reported that the behind the scenes fallout, which generated some bad publicity for Harmon, Chase, and the show. Later on August 22nd, 2012, um, I just said 2012.
I didn't want to say
2012,
anything. I don't want to say
creator
anything.
Dan Harmon took part in a Reddit conversation to elaborate on what happened. He refused to do the tag for the digital estate planning episode, the 8-bit video game episode. In the scripted tag, Abed comes to Pierce with the thumb drive he took and says, Pierce, I've been able to adjust some of the code for your dad's video game, and I've made a version I think you might like better. He puts the thumb drive into a laptop in front of Pierce. We cut to the laptop screen, and we see Pierce's avatar on a front lawn with a giant floating head of Cornelius. This is going to sound insane if you've never watched Community. I apologize. Um, every time Pierce presses the spacebar, his avatar throws a baseball to his father's head, which gives him 1,000 points and a great job, son. Pierce presses the spacebar a few times, pauses, then leans over and embraces Abbott, and we fade to black. When Adam County pitched that tag, tears instantly rolled down my cheeks, and in point of fact, my tears are getting watery describing it to you. It was the most important part of the episode and possibly one of the most important moments of the season. And I was very upset to hear that it wasn't shot because someone didn't feel like shooting it, especially since it was literally the last day of shooting, he means for the season, which meant we'd never be able to pick it up. I regret nothing about how upset I got. My job was to care about the show. So,
Mm.
because Chevy Chase didn't want to shoot the scene for whatever reason, they weren't able to include this scene in the show. And this was the very end of the season, like the last day of shooting. So that's why Dan Harmon was so pissed at Chevy Chase.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Because that does sound like a fantastic ending. Because the way they write Pierce, like, yeah, he is this out of touch
Yeah.
dude, and I did notice, like, as the episode seasons went on, like they made him more and more meaner and angrier and bigoted. But like
Yeah.
with scenes like this, like I mean, to me, that scene, like you just described, it felt like maybe giving an olive branch to Chevy Chase, saying
Yeah.
like, hey, like I wrote this for you. Like, I know you lash out at people and you think and say certain things, but like I do know you're also a good person, so I want you to still, have this really great scene and this nice tender moment. And then
Yeah.
Chevy
Yeah.
was like, no, fuck that, I don't want it. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
And
dude.
and so, after the fuck you, Chevy thing, Chevy Chase leaves an angry voicemail to Dan Harmon, which
Yes, I
Dan
remember that.
Harmon, who is also a very screwed up human being who refuses to go to therapy, or at least did at this point in time.
Mm.
He plays it during his Harmontown podcast. That gets a lot of press.
Oh boy.
Um, and then there's like back and forth between Harmon and Chevy Chase because they're both very volatile people who
Yeah.
dip a toe into assholic. I would
Yes.
say. um,
Dip a toe into assholic? What?
yeah. Um, and eventually Dan Harmon is fired at the end of the third season. The documentary they kind of makes it sound like he was fired for the show because of his clashes with Chevy, and I don't think that was the entire reason.
No, it was something else. I don't remember, but like it
I mean,
wasn't.
there was a multitude of reasons. I mean, he had deadline problems. I don't know if he ever missed air dates, but he would like go down to the wire and he'd be like rewriting scripts while they were being shot on stage and stuff like that, which is not what you want for a network sitcom.
No, they tend not to like
So
that.
I think there were a lot of budget overruns for that season. They shoot very long hours, and you get into that. You're getting into overtime for the cast and crew and all that fun stuff. So like there was a variety of reasons for Dan Harmon leaving the show, and I met Dan Harmon and some of the cast in the
Ooh.
summer of 2012, not long after all this went down.
Oh, neat.
Because I went out to LA for an art show for Community. I had a piece or two in that,
Oh, far
and
out, man.
I got to meet Dan Harmon. I got to meet Gillian Jacobs and
Oh.
Yvette Nicole Brown
Hey now.
and what's her face? The
Alison Brie?
No, unfortunately not Alison Brie. I would have led with Alison Brie if I met Alison Brie. But some of the writers of the show as well, and
Megan
Megan Gantz,
Gantz,
and
yes.
And Chris McKenna, and it was great. It was a wonderful weekend, one of the best weekends of my life, and I kind of forgot where I was going with this, but anyway, I met Dan Harmon around that time, and so it wasn't long after he was fired from the show. He was eventually rehired for the show right before the fifth season, and that's a whole nother thing. But
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Dan and Chevy also made up, and then he said
yeah,
Chevy wouldn't do the show without Dan, so I guess they.
I think they did have a rapprochement of some sort. Yeah, and Jay Chandrasekhar, he was directing the episode where Chevy Chase got fired, which I believe was at the end of the fourth season.
Yeah, because
which
like
was the season they did without Dan Harmon.
right, yeah, because I did notice that like they were writing, Pierce Hawthorne a lot more meaner and angrier, and like there were some scenes where I was like, wow, he's just really a straight up villain here, and it's like
He became very tough to sympathize with as a character. I mean, part of that was his arc in the second season. We're really getting into the weeds here. So
let's do it. We're SNL nerds, baby.
But he breaks his legs in the second season, and then the character Pierce develops this addiction to painkillers, which makes his behavior even more erratic and extreme. And and he becomes much more villainous. Like you watch the first D&D episode, and Pierce is such an asshole on that one.
Yeah, it's like it's not even funny. It's like he's just being a real.
No, it's not. And I had a tough time with Pierce in that episode and beyond that episode.
Yeah, no, same.
So I kind of see where some of Chase's complaints are coming from, but at the same time, he didn't really seem to want to be a good collaborator. So
so then we're at an impasse now, and I mean, then things came to a head with that episode where the blackface senior Wences bit, and then Chevy ended up saying something to Yvette Nicole Brown. It's because the two of them always had tension on set, and I mean, it seemed like
I think Chevy Chase said something to the effect of, "If you're going to have me be this my character be this bigoted, why don't I just call Yvette and Donald N-words and be done with it," or something like that.
Yeah,
I think he said words to that effect.
Yeah, and like it got to the point where like Yvette like walked off set and she wouldn't come back till Chevy apologized. Chevy got upset and walked, and it's. I mean, Jay Chandrasekhar said, this was like a straight up meltdown, and Chevy saying things like, "Hey man, I called Richard Pryor the N-word and he called me honky and everybody loved that bit, and it's comedy gold." And and then somebody leaked this news to the Hollywood Reporter. And like suddenly Chevy is this dude that says the N-word, and that's where we get
Yeah.
the whole "who fucked me over and my career is ruined,"
Yeah.
and then Chevy
I
never
mean,
came back.
there's so many things. I mean, okay, it's been 30 years since that sketch.
Mm.
Maybe you should acknowledge the world has changed somewhat.
I
And that,
think I think that's the other thing too. His style of comedy just hasn't evolved with the times, and it's
yeah,
just
that's the other big thing is he's just like, hey, this killed him in 1977. Why isn't it killing him in 2007? Well, because the world has moved on, Chevy.
yeah. It's like if
You
Fatty
know,
Arbuckle was like, "Hey, this joke killed in vaudeville back in the '40s." Why is
I mean, yeah, because comedy, nothing ages like comedy, and
yeah,
it's the exception, not the rule, that comedy is still funny decades later. I mean, we've watched so many comedies from like past decades on this podcast, and yeah, a lot of them just flat out don't work anymore.
yeah? There's a bunch of movies I remember loving watching as a kid, and I go back and watch them now, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's not great."
yeah.
It
And you're just
happened.
like, oh my God, was Revenge of the Nerds always this rapey? Yes, it was, but it was like the 1980s, and we didn't realize.
Oh my God, American Pie! They filmed that
Oh
woman.
my God,
They filmed that woman
yeah.
without her consent.
Yeah.
Oh
And
boy.
then she's the one who's punished for it.
Oh no! That's
Yeah, she's the exchange student. They fly her back, and the guy, no consequences. It's just like, haha, you're the guy who ejaculated
yeah.
prematurely online. Yay!
Oh, that's not the laugh riot I remember it being.
No. Yeah. So again, and like Yvette Nicole Brown, because this documentary came out, like Yvette Nicole Brown, I think she made some sort of statement. I think on Blue Sky or something, which is where I follow her. She was like, keep my name out of your damn mouth.
Woo!
She's just like so not having this, and I'm not getting into this again. She's like, I have nothing to say about this, and I do not blame her in the least.
Nope.
You
Not
know?
not today, Satan. Not today.
Yeah. I mean, it's just got to be exhausting to be constantly asked about this uncomfortable moment you had 15 odd years ago.
Yeah, you're trying to move on from it, but people just love to pick a wound. I guess pick at a wound.
Yep.
So then they go in. Chevy's no longer on the show. The daughter talks about his health issues.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had like heart failure and he had
This was
cardio.
new to me. Yeah, they talked about how he had heart failure. He like went to the ER. He had a cardio myopathy, and he was like put into a coma for 8 days.
Wow. Yeah.
And this was like during COVID times too. So,
Uh,
and at his age and like his late 70s, that's pretty risky.
yeah.
Um,
Like I had no idea about any of this. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
maybe a
I
lot of
hadn't
people
heard.
didn't.
I didn't see any press coverage of this and stuff. And they talk about how he was hospitalized for 5 weeks, and he's apparently that's responsible for some of his memory issues since that time. Which
Yeah.
okay,
All right. I guess. But yeah, and like I did notice, it's like his speech is a little bit more slowed and slurred. But I mean, I just thought that
mhm.
was with age. I didn't realize about the whole his
Yeah,
health issues,
yeah.
and I was like, wow.
No,
And
I hadn't heard anything about the heart stuff and the memory issues either. So
yeah, and I mean
I don't
that
know. Maybe that's why he doesn't remember the Terry Sweeney stuff. Who knows, right?
maybe I know. I mean, and maybe that
You
might.
know, you ping pong back and forth. Was does he sincerely not remember, or does he remember and is he not trying to not take responsibility?
I I don't know. I wish he would
And
just.
I don't know. At the end of watching this thing, I don't know if I know Chevy Chase any especially better than I did when I started.
Yeah, it's like just let us in, man. Why are you so defensive? We just want to love you, Chevy. Come on, come on, baby. I mean, and I think because of the health issue, that might be a reason why he may not have gotten a lot to do at the SNL 50, which we get to
Yeah.
at the end. He gets interviewed on the carpet, and interviewers asking him about SNL, and then of course he jokes and says, "Oh, if it wasn't for me, the show would have been in the dumper that year." And now that's all you're going to show right now, right? You devils. And it's like, is he joking or is?
Yeah, I mean, you just gave that quote, Chevy. That's really on you. You know?
exactly.
Like, I
Like,
mean, I've interviewed a lot of people, and the way interviewing works is you ask the most interesting questions you can think of. They give you the most interesting answers they can think of. You use the most interesting answers, and
yeah,
then hopefully you end up with an interesting or provocative interview, you know? So,
right. And
yeah, if you're going to say something that outrageous, yeah, don't be surprised if they fucking use it.
yeah, and I will say this around this at this segment of the doc, I did feel a little sorry for Chevy because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, according to what his wife says, like, yeah, they were planning on doing a bit with Chevy, like up until
Hmm.
the day. They're going to do it maybe a bit or
Yeah.
two, and then it kind of got whittled down to like no bits at all. And then they talked to Lauren about it, and Lauren said, yeah, he was kind of cautioned by some people that maybe Chevy isn't as focused as he used to be. And
Yeah.
and then
And
the
I can see that. I can see
yeah,
that concern. And,
yeah, but then
you want to be pragmatic about your show.
that's true. But then the daughter kind of says, goes to bat for her dad and says, like, yeah, he should have opened it with Live from New York a Saturday night. He was the first person to say it on the very first episode. He's their first breakout star. Like, I mean, it's only right to have him say it on the 50th, which I kind of agree with. Because, like, I mean,
I see the point of that. Yeah. I can.
yeah.
Who
I
did
mean,
they have say it on the 50th? I'm not even remembering right now.
that's when they had Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon sing the Homeward Bound, and then Paul Simon said it, and
Oh.
yeah, that doesn't feel. It doesn't like I remember us talking
Yeah,
about it
that's
on.
not as momentous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this don't feel right. This, I mean, first of all,
Hmm.
it was like a slow. I'm pretty sure it was Homeward Bound, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this don't feel like the song to kick off the night, like a slow burn like this. Like it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I felt like when her daughter said that, I was like, yeah, that does kind of make more sense to have. I mean, the guy that is
Yeah. I
he.
mean,
Yeah,
maybe looking at it from Lord Michael's point of view, he didn't want to showcase one particular cast member over the others for the
yeah.
opening, and that's why he went to people who have a relationship with the show but weren't cast members. I don't know. I don't know what's in Lorne Michael's head.
Who
If I
does?
knew what was in Lorne Michael's head, I would know why he shaved off that glorious mustache in the
Oh
'70s.
my God, that flavor saver.
Ah,
But yeah, I kind of agree. It's like, yeah, he was the first breakout star the show ever had. Like
yeah.
it kind of makes sense.
But but Chevy's also talking about, he's like, yeah, Garrett Morris had a bit, Lorraine Newman had a bit, Bill Murray had a bit in the special. So he did feel kind of singled out. Dan Aykroyd wasn't there, I believe, if I remember
No,
correctly,
no,
for
no. He
whatever
was
reason.
he didn't show up for whatever reason. And then they
Yeah,
show
I don't
that.
know if it was health reasons or what, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, Bill Murray had that great death segment where he shouts
he
out all
countered
the
down the weekend update anchors.
yes
Yeah,
Cornelius Crane Chase, who we've all come to know as Connie,
yeah.
and
And
yeah.
we can't, he's the guy who started this all, and so we can't, in good conscience, put him any lower than number 4.
It's still funny. It's a funny line. I'm
Still
sorry.
funny. I mean, God bless Bill Murray.
But yeah, then they talked to Chevy about it. And he's like, "Yeah, I feel like somebody made a mistake. I should have been in something." Like he
Yeah.
brought it up to Lauren in a text and took it back. And then they show
Hmm.
that one scene where he's on stage with everybody, where everybody's on stage, and he does look kind of lost, a little sad.
Little
Uh,
ill at ease. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, I, I feel bad. I feel bad for him in that moment." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,"
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, it's tough to quantify like how much he deserves, and also how many bridges he's burned. But yeah, but it's
I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can turn this over in your head every which way because it's like, yeah, even if he was a horrendous asshole, he was a very significant person in the history of the show,
yeah.
and the first breakout star, and the guy who opened the first show, and
I mean, Weekend Update. It helped put the show on
yeah,
the map. You can't.
yeah.
It helped bring
It
in
would
the
have been
people.
nice if he could have done a live from New York. I mean, he
Yeah.
did it the 15th. I remember.
Right.
I don't
Oh
remember
yeah.
what he did on the 20th or the 25th.
Well, you can go back and listen to all those episodes in the archives, people.
I guess I can. Yeah, I guess I can. We did cover the 25th recently. I remember Bill Murray opened that as Nick the Lounge Singer the
Yes,
25th.
I remember that. I remember that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bad feelings about that, but then we cut to Chevy doing a meet and greet in Medford, Massachusetts. Apparently, him and his wife go on the road showing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation to adoring because there's a huge fan base of people that love that movie. So they show the movie.
Yeah, and
Which I had no idea.
I didn't realize. I knew it was a bit of a cult film, but I didn't know it was so much of a cult film. And it's one of those movies that they do periodic screenings of it. He's like his wife Janie says they regularly go out on the road for screenings in November, December, and so they're just traveling around for I don't know 6 to 8 weeks and doing like a Q&A before or after the movie.
Yeah, as sign, he signed stuff, meet and
Yeah,
greets, all that jazz.
I mean he still has an adoring public.
Yeah. So I mean, by
He
all,
he had a very telling quote towards the end of it where he said, "By my standard, I'm still a movie star,"
okay.
and I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, that's part of the problem. You never really updated your self image, you know.
Yeah, like I
You
mean,
know, you're not necessarily Mr. Movie Star anymore. You're not the guy from Caddyshack and Fletch and Vacation.
he's
Um,
he's not. I mean, but he has kids that love him and a wife that loves him, so
yeah, yeah.
it's happy.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
obviously not a total asshole. He's not 100% an asshole. He does have love in his life.
yeah. So good for him. And I mean, I thought the line you were going to mention was at the very end of the doc where he
Mm-hmm.
apologizes to the director, and the director says, "What are you apologizing for?" And he says, "Just for being who I am,"
Uh-huh.
which is kind of a joke, but it's kind of not.
Yeah.
Much like everything Chevy says, it's kind of a joke, but it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
not.
I mean, there is a bit of truth in most jokes, really. Even even if you're not aware of the truth in them, like there is truth in a lot of jokes that you
Right.
tell.
Absolutely.
Um,
And
my After I log this movie on Letterboxd, I always like to look at other reviews of the movie and stuff. And I think my favorite movie was from uh, B. Vigand. I'm probably mangling that pronunciation, but he says it's like jazz. It's all the interviews you aren't hearing, and it is kind of amazing when you think about all the people they could have talked to for this that they didn't or weren't able to. I
yeah.
mean, so many people from SNL. They could have talked to Bill Murray. They could have talked to Lorraine Newman. They could have talked to Jane Curtin. They could have talked to anyone from Community. I mean, I'm sure they tried.
Yeah.
I know the director has said like, "Oh yeah, if Jay Chandrasekhar didn't agree to talk to me, I would have been screwed,"
I
because he was
was
like literally the only person from the Community years that was
yeah.
willing to go on record. And even he says towards the end, they're like, "Would you work with him again?" He's like, "Yeah, I still would. It's Chevy Chase, man." You
Yeah.
know?
He still has that some movie star bona fides that some people are cool with him or people are all right with
Yeah,
him.
I just wish he could have let go of his ego a little bit more and just like
Yeah.
accepted like, hey, I'm stepping into being a supporting actor now, and that's not necessarily a downgrade. It's not a defeat. It's just kind of acknowledging that that time has passed.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know.
Like
He seems like a sore winner in many ways.
I think so. And he doesn't want to do that introspection to like really get to
Yeah,
the heart of his trauma and like what his lot in life. He just kind of. I mean, I don't want to say he's like living a bit of a delusion at all, but because like he does have love in his life and people are his fans, but like the whole. I don't know. I just wish he would do more, soul searching or introspective look to like really kind of.
yeah. I just don't think he's wired up for that.
Yeah, I guess not. And it's so I don't know. I mean, and of course this doc ends in probably the best way possible of showing the Paul Simon video "You Can Call Me Al,"
Yes,
which I got a chuckle out of. I did.
still one of
Da-
the funniest things he did.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that's the documentary. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Would you recommend it? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
I'm kind of mixed on it.
Okay.
I wish it. I don't know. It probably is the best possible documentary they could have made under the circumstances, but it's still somewhat unsatisfying because he's not the most cooperative subject.
Yeah,
and they're also very limited on who they could talk to. So
yeah. I would say so. Like it's I mean, as
yeah,
far as learning anything new about him, I feel like I did learn a few things about him, like especially about
a bit about his
his
childhood, a bit about
childhood.
his health issues in recent years. I wish we could have gone a little more in depth into that, but
Yeah, like I wish he would have like kind of just dropped the facade and
yeah.
really kind of see what's
I
going
mean,
on
I
in his
wish they
mind.
could have hit on things like the infamous backstage fight with Bill Murray, the medium talent
I know,
thing, and I wish
yeah,
they could. I would have loved to hear him talk about the roast in the early 2000s. You know?
yeah, all that would have been great to hear. So yeah, like you are
Yeah,
getting some interesting things, but you're not truly getting everything you want out of this. I thought.
yeah. So it is a little unsatisfying to a degree. So
Yeah, but still,
I
it's
guess recommended with reservations.
yeah. I thought it was interesting, but maybe I would only tell like true comedy nerds to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Fortunately, we are real comedy nerds. So
yes, absolutely. But I mean, enough of my blabbering away. What did you guys think about it over on the Blue Skies? Let's go on over to the Blue Skies and see what our folks thought about it. We had the good people at the Not Ready for Primetime podcast saying, think it was a travesty. They didn't mention his 1980s album of quote unquote music, not once.
I don't think I even know about this.
I don't know either. I'm not sure what they're referring
He
to.
did an album of music.
He is a musician. He plays piano and the drums,
Yeah.
and he put out some stuff with the Lemmings, and but I don't think
I'm
he.
googling Chevy Chase album now. Oh yeah, he did. He has a album called Chevy Chase from
Oh,
1980.
oh, but it's a
Let's see.
comedy album though, isn't it?
Well, no, it looks like it's a music album. It starts out with the national
Yeah.
anthem. It's got "Short People," which yeah, it's the Randy Newman song.
Oh, interesting.
Never
All
gonna
right.
sing for you. I shot the sheriff. Yes, the Bob Marley song. Let it be. Love to have my baby, which is an original song by Chevy Chase and Tom Scott.
Nice.
16 tons. Yes, that's right. He does a Negro spiritual.
Oh boy.
Wild Thing,
Oh, makes my heart
and
sing.
Rapper's Plight, which is another original by Chevy Chase and Tom Scott. No idea if that's related to Rapper's Delight, but
Oh boy.
I have not heard of this thing, and now I must hear it.
To Spotify I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And apparently, some cuts of it have ended up on those Golden Throats albums with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. So,
Nice. Okay. Good to know.
okay. Well,
Good to
I
know.
learned something today that was not mentioned in the doc either. So yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been nice.
Want to hear some of those groovy tunes, man?
Let's see. Also, our friend Manette Maradi says this fluff piece by CBS a few years ago always stuck with me, especially the last couple of minutes where he seemed accepting that he'll never change. And it's a segment from CBS this morning, which I wasn't, or CBS Sunday morning, which I wasn't able to watch before we recorded. But you watched this, right?
Yeah, I mean, it basically covers everything that's in the doc, and at the very end, it's like him saying, "Yeah, I don't care if I'm liked or not. I'm happy with being who I am," and
Yeah.
like basically saying, "Yeah, like I don't want to." Like I don't. He's basically saying, "I don't want to do the work to change who I
Yeah.
am." Like if people don't have if people have a problem with me, that's their problem.
I
Like
think as long as he's good with his family, with his loved ones, I think he really just doesn't care about the rest
I suppose so.
of all
Yeah,
that.
but
And and honestly, that's fine. That's his prerogative.
yeah.
He seems to get along well with his assistant.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that guy.
yeah, that guy. I didn't write down his name, but
It's
that
that
guy.
guy.
He does have several old friends. I'm assuming he's still good with Paul Schaefer because Paul Schaefer was willing to talk to him. Martin Short was nice enough to talk to them.
Yeah, Martin Short was in
Steve
this thing.
Martin, another notable absence.
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, I remember seeing some.
yeah,
I remember seeing somewhere online, like somebody mentioned. I think he said something about like how he's missing from Only Murders in the Building. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it seems like he hasn't been invited on that show because Steve is on it and Martin's on it, but
Well,
maybe
and also, they are touring all the time and
yeah,
doing comedy together. I mean, it's very obvious that, I'm sure people would love to see Chevy Chase with them too, but I think there's probably a good reason why that doesn't happen, and that's probably because he has trouble playing well with others.
Yeah, it does seem that way. So, I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. Interesting watch. I watch it with caution, and guys, watch it when it comes out on HBO Max at the end of the month, and let us know what you think about it. It's definitely, it's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the full picture, but I don't know if you could get the full picture because it's
he just won't give you.
You're always limited by who's willing to talk to you. So
yes, the man is shrouded in mystery.
Yeah,
and
so he's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, smothered in secret sauce.
Yes, he's a complicated man, and no one understands him but his woman.
Yeah,
Chevy
Chase.
Say that Chase is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Chase. We can dig it. And that's the episode, guys. Can you dig it? Thanks again for listening, as always.
Can you dig it?
Oh, nice. Then thanks for listening to the podcast. As always, you could follow us on the Blue Sky at SNL Nerds. You can listen to this madness on our YouTube page, Non-Productive.com. You could donate. Give us some shekels to help us keep this little tub afloat. That's the right phrase?
Sure. Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Keep this tugboat afloat. Do that. And as always,
you are killing it.
Oh, man.
You're nailing this, dude.
Hell yeah, son. What?
Keep going. You're nailing it.
Nothing but net. 10 out of 10. No notes. And as
Darren, no second takes Patterson.
That's right. Leave it all in, baby. Leave it all in. And as
you're leaving it on the field.
That's right. And as always, you can follow me on all the social medias at Darren Credible, DARIN Credible.
And you can follow me on all the social medias where I never screw up like Darren just did at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and the word comic.
All right. And
I'm a much better follow than Darren.
Oh, whoa. Wow. Way to lash out.
Darren.
Lashing out. We're on the same team, man. Hey, rising.
No. We're gonna feud now. Let's start feuding in the podcast. Let's see if that boosts the listenership.
I'm gonna have everybody at the rap party chant "Fuck you, Trumbull."
Okay.
As you come. Right. Fuck you,
Trumbull. Right.
My career is ruined.
My career is ruined. Who leaked this to the Hollywood Reporter?
God.
Who reported it accurately on all the racial slurs I used?
Oh, you go vault. Wow, Chevy Chase. It's really something.
Yeah.
But that's our episode, guys. Tune in next week when SNL comes back, and we'll break down the Finn Wolfhard episode with Mr. ASAP Rocky.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. So, we'll be back with more about SNL next week. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. But until then, nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.